welcome everyone to this wonderful interview and podcast, That Flower Feeling, members of the advisory board. I think That Flower Feeling is so important. I hope that everybody has seen the ad to try to promote flowers as just a great use of self-care, and of course encourage more and more Americans to see flowers as something important that they need to give to themselves and use for daily use, not just because it's Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or what have you. And we are going to have a great chat today with the advisory board members of That Flower Feeling, and I'll kind of go around our circle here. We have Karen Oy, and we have Carmen Marquez, and we have Lisa Nason, and I'm going to allow them to kind of talk about their day jobs and the companies they represent to kick off so we don't bore you, and just get their opinion of why they decided to join That Flower Feeling. So Karen, if you want to kick it on off, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely, would love to. Nice to see everybody. And Joan, thank you for this opportunity. So as you mentioned, my name is Karen Oy. I am the Director of Sales at Smithers-Oasis North America. So that's my day job. And then I'm a proud member of our advisory board, as you mentioned, for That Flower Feeling. And I also am the chairperson for the development committee of That Flower Feeling. Do you want us to go into the excitement now, or should we do intros and come back, Joan? That's up to you.
Just go around robin and get everybody introduced, and share a little bit about what you do. Carmen?
Hi, I'm Carmen Marquez. I'm the marketing manager for Boles B. Boles B is the cut flowers division down in South America. I've worked with Joan a lot for the North American market for some of the varieties that we supply. And I have worked in Ball for 6 years already. I am part of That Flower Feeling in the advisory board. I recently joined maybe a month or two ago that I was introduced, and I was very excited that I was asked to be part of That Flower Feeling.
Fantastic. Lisa, your turn.
All right. I am the marketing director at Kennicott Brothers, and I am actually the marketing chair for That Flower Feeling. So I'm on the marketing committee, and I chair that committee. And I am excited to be here and be sharing more info on That Flower Feeling.
Maybe everybody could just take a turn and say, why did you want to join? What sparked this? Obviously, because of your day jobs, but there has to be more to it than that.
So from my perspective, this is how I live my life. I am constantly buying flowers for my friends I make up reasons really, and, handing them out to them. That Flower Feeling really embodies that message, right? It is being able to share that with other people and getting them to spread the word and spread the message. And one of the reasons I personally do it is because it makes you smile. If I walk into my kitchen and my teenage boys have left a pile of dishes in the sink and I am really upset, I look over on my counter and I see that bouquet of flowers that I just brought home, and I smile, I take a deep breath, and I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. We'll take care of that, right? It changes your mood. And so what we want is to be able to get to spread that to other people so that they can have that same feeling and they can, spread that to other people. And that's what That Flower Feeling is about. It's about coming together across the industry so that we can get more people buying flowers and spreading that happiness.
You know what? I always had a bouquet of flowers on my desk all summer long, and I got out of the practice, and I have to start that practice again, because I definitely recall that feeling that when things were not maybe perfect, I could look over and see those beautiful flowers, and it does reset your mind. So that is just real life, and it's what you do, but it's also how you live. So that is so cool. Carmen, how about you?
I've been part of different committees. Throughout the years, there have been different initiatives. Some of them, they're like, okay, let's do this movement, but none of us were all talking together. And then when That Flower Feeling came, where it was uniting and inviting all parts of different associations into one same message, that's exactly what we needed. Like, how do we increase per capita consumption? Having the same message being constantly repeating in different meetings and different events. This is something that I have been working with for over my years in my marketing experience on how to create that per capita consumption. And as soon as I saw it, I thought that was my calling. That was like, how can I help from my experience? How can I help as a breeder? How can we help and contribute for this whole industry to be united? It doesn't matter if you're a grower, a breeder, a florist, an event designer. It doesn't matter. how can you contribute to everyone, for everyone to have this amazing big market size increase year over year and having and change a habit to make it happy. Besides everything
Fantastic.
else that Lisa just said about how the flowers make us happy, etc.
Exactly. Fantastic. Karen?
Sure. For me, it was really just the opportunity to become part of something that I see a vision and we all see a vision of truly transforming our industry and then having that, translate into consumer behavior change. That's really the end goal of what we're trying to do. And for me, living in my Smithers-Oasis world, which is all supplies, right? It's all supplies. I always say, cliche, we follow the flowers. So the more stem consumption, the more flower consumption that feeds into that consumer behavior, of course, selfishly, more supplies get sold in the industry for all of us, right? For me, again, because I live in the supplies world on my day-to-day business, I wanted to learn more about the fresh side of the industry too. So I've been able to really expand my wealth of knowledge as a human being, not necessarily translated into day-to-day work, but really just being part of this change, right? And the whole idea that we've talked about with Lisa and Carmen is flowers aren't just for holidays. I mean, buy them every single week. You could afford, people I think do get a little intimidated by the expense of flowers. But if you add up a couple of coffees that you're buying at your favorite drive, it really doesn't add up to be that much. So I think at the end of the day, it just has to become that routine for people. But I've always believed in that flower feeling. I love the mission. I love the message. We all say self-care a lot, but it's not just about supplies and fresh. I mean, it's every portion of our industry, whether it's logistics, farms, growers, breeders, supplies, wholesalers, retailers. I mean, we're really in it to win with the entire industry at that consumer level.
Yeah, and I really think you bring up a really good point that it's acceptable to, like you said, buy that cup of coffee, right? And how long does that coffee last? And if you're distracted, it's going to get cold and goodbye coffee. You get a very nice fresh bouquet of flowers. You're getting at minimum, 10 days, 2 weeks enjoyment. And that is uplifting on this every moment, like you said, or even like in my own reflection, like she talked about dishes and just remembering how that bouquet felt on my desk this summer, it's again, it's a necessary, right? It's useful. It's something that you can have and enjoy. So, like we travel, and of course, in my travels, I'll just pick on Holland. When I go to Holland, I can see people on bicycles and, they may have milk and bread on their handlebars. And then, of course, everyone also has that bouquet of flowers, right? So what is everyone's opinion? That's like, you can just see other countries, this is a staple. And how do you see the difference between the American viewpoint and maybe perhaps some of the European uses of flowers? How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I think to your point, like in the Holland culture, it's really just part of their life and their culture, right? Whereas here in the US, could be a perception that flowers are a luxury or they're a gift. You need to have a special occasion or a reason to buy them.
Right.
And so that flower feeling is really working on shifting that mindset, showing that, as Karen said, not only are flowers affordable, but they impact your daily life, whether it's self-care or anything else. It's changing the perspective, I guess, of what flowers mean and how they can fit into your life, right? So just like you would go to the gym every day or get your morning coffee, that week you're going to bring in your flowers and you're going to stop and smell the roses today, right? And that's going to be part of your routine.
I think contributing to what Lisa was saying, not only part of their culture, they grew with it, but also accessibility, because they have grown and they have these huge flower markets for the entire life. So being something that is available, flowers available at their hands, or just walking by and they can purchase a bouquet of flowers, have made a difference. And now that's our job now with that flower feeling in the US, changing and shifting that mindset over. Now flowers are more available. Now there's a lot of retailers are offering or expanding their offers, and now we got to make them choose it more often. So I think that's a way of making a difference. Availability is now happening, and now we just want to tell them why they should buy it.
The perception in, I'll say, North America or outside of Europe, anywhere probably, is that luxury of gifting or flowers for events, be it sympathy events or wedding or graduations or whatever. People, I think, typically just assume flowers are for events and they're luxury items, but it's spreading the word. I mean, I'm guilty too. I've been 10 years in the floral industry. Before I joined this beautiful industry, I wasn't great at buying myself flowers. I have no problem with it anymore. There's a lot of, I would say, especially females, probably carry guilt of, oh, I can't buy myself flowers. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So we just have to change that perception. We just have to change it. And then our goal at that flower feeling is, let's make this a culture here as well.
So where can that flower feeling marketing efforts be viewed? So like today, if I am a consumer, where would I be tuning in, or what media are these efforts being shown?
Marketing chair, take that.
Oh, yeah. So if you're an end consumer, you're going to want to go to Instagram, right, to follow us there on that flower feeling. If you are in the industry looking to understand and learn more, you would go to thatflowerfeeling.org, and they have videos, they have marketing materials you can literally download and use in your store, right? They have things to help you promote that flower feeling to consumers, that you can print out a flyer or just a one-page piece of paper or little tags that showcase the reason why we want to do that flower feeling and support it and spread the word. One of the funny ones that I love, right? They come up with all these really cute taglines. And one of the ones that I think is the funniest is, isn't yoga difficult enough? Why do you have to bring goats into it? Right? Like, and that's the type of fun, cute little one-liners they've got. They've got all sorts of them out there available. If you're a retail florist shop, you can go and use any of that, and it's free and it's available. Really, we're trying to not just to get the message out to consumers, but also support the industry in helping us get that message out there.
That right now we have the test market in Texas, where we're displaying full with the billboards, media coverage with paid media on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit.
From the development committee side of things to support the marketing team and vice versa, we've got what we're calling a unit sales program relevant to those of us inside the industry, but it's basically to create awareness on bouquet sleeves with that flower feeling branding, flower food packets. We're getting into some suppliers that are putting that flower feeling logos and QR codes on vases, that type of thing, so that the attempt there again is, as the consumer brings that bouquet home in that flower feeling bouquet wrap, or they put it in a vase that has that flower feeling with a QR code, it just takes them into what the whole mission is all about. And it really comes down to self-care and awareness.
There's a large surge in smaller flower farmers or independent flower farmers. How may a smaller, say, farmer florist participate? Are there avenues for those farmers who are maybe only 1 or 2 acres who are seasonal?
Yeah. Do you want me to kick that off, Lisa?
Yeah,
And then I'll turn
go for it
for more. And Carmen can chime in too. So again, the flower feeling was created in the industry for the industry, right? So we want everyone, whether you're a hobby farm, all the way to large growers, to participate in the campaign. If we're all behind it, that's where we see the exposure and growth.
Yeah, because there's so many new flower farmers, but also, the smaller local farm is becoming so much more important because, of course, it's local, it's more sustainable, and the diversity of the flowers that can be offered, some flowers that may not import as well, that some of the folks are starting to really take a notice to. That's excellent. Are there any events that flower feeling is going to be participating in coming up, industry events or consumer events that everybody should be aware of?
Yes. Who wants to take that one? It's busy.
Yeah, I can. We are going to be at Next Gen, Flora Expo, WFSA, the IFPA Floral Conference, and the Philly Flower Show coming up. Also, of course, the SAF Convention and Pro Flora later this year. But really, we're just going to continue to engage with the mass marketers, the retailers, the wholesalers, and all of the different industry partners to expand the reach. Again, we can't say it enough that many hands, right, makes this an easier mission to, get out to the consumer. So the more people we can get as part of this, the easier it will be to spread that flower feeling.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing too, is we're going to continuously bring out new creative material that's relevant for whoever is partnering with us all the way to that end consumers. Again, it's keep flowers top of mind for our consumers, and literally stay tuned for more, because we're going to have some pretty exciting campaigns coming up.
Anything else that we haven't really touched on that anyone can think of?
No, let's promote that flower feeling. I have my hat here. See?
I love it. And matter of fact, I wore that very hat to say my son's swim meet this past weekend. The more we get it going and the more people see it, the better off we are, right?
Absolutely.
Great.
I would just say that you kind of brought up the small farmer. Really, no matter who you are in the industry, even if you're not in front of that consumer, there's things you can do, right? And there's ways you can be a part of that flower feeling, whether through contributions or, sharing and talking about it on social and getting your following, right? There are different things we can all be doing to spread the message. And it just would be so great if more and more people from the industry can just get behind the cause so that we can all sell more flowers and we can all make people a little bit happier.
Talk to your neighbors and talk to your friends. I mean, it's amazing if you just start to spread the word just with your own social circles and your families. And you've got flowers on your table all the time. You've got company coming over that's like, oh, geez, Karen, you always have flowers on your table. Yes, I do. And you should too. And it's amazing how people just start to adopt that into their daily lives. And that's what we're trying to do here is touch millions of people across the country. Millions.
Yeah. I mean, people could simply buy their bouquets or buy their bunches, make their arrangement at home, take a picture of it and post it on social media and say, look what I did today. Just for me, just because, not really any reason. I just felt like it. I think that could get contagious, right? Just being happy. I appreciate your time and sharing all of this just great information and inspiration about that flower feeling. And I look forward to seeing this movement grow. I hope that our customers and people in the industry will go onto that Flower Feelings website and lend their support.
Awesome. Thanks for the opportunity, Joan. This was great.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
It was great to catch up with everyone.
Well, let's keep in touch and let's keep sharing that flower feeling. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls.